Hello tubers and groovers, and welcome to this edition of Take the Fear
Out the Gear
with me, Jason Bangers,
and me, Mr. Chumley Warner,
and me, Mr. Matt Roberts.
Hey Matt, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, boys? Welcome along.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you both. Welcome to Effort Studios.
Oh, look at the serious face on Mr. Chumley Warner.
Well, it's a very serious thing, and Matt's going to tell us about his Oberheim rack.
Yeah, what are you going to tell us about?
My Oberheim rack is, I mean, basically, as with everything in the studio, it was all carefully lusted after, over and thought out and researched for many years. So I'm a big fan of Mr. Tom Oberheim and his Oberheim synths. Obviously, you had the 4-voice and the 8-voice in the 70s. Then in 1979, 1980, the OBX, which was the first sort of polyphonic, non-modular synth that was released. And then I think in 81, you had the OBXA, which is this one here. And then in, I think it's 83 or 84, the OB8, which is here. And under here we've got a Prophet 5, which is a Dave Smith. And we've got a Polymoog synth, and a spare Oberheim at the bottom. And what I love about these synths is they're very funky. The filters on them are incredible. They're just, I mean, this particular one was Queen famously said no synthesizers until 1979, 1980, the game Flash soundtrack, and the first synth that they used was an Oberheim OBX. So it was very, all the stuff on the Flash, the portmanteau on the song The Game was all done on this. Obviously, as I've sort of stated before, previous interviews that have been done, very big Prince fan and Minneapolis fan. So he was a big user of all the Oberheim synths as well. I mean, this one's been extensively serviced by Mr. Adrian Delenti at synthrestore.co.uk, and also Mr. James Walker at Synth Repair Services. Both of those techs have worked very extensively on this machine, keeping it going. And Synth Restore have repaired this one and looked at this one. So you've got to maintain them. You've got to have the love and passion. But it is obviously, like with all this stuff, is a bit of a a cash cow.
It's a labour of love, dude.
It's a labour of love, and you've got to be prepared to. The Curtis chips themselves are sort of about £40–50. I think they've started making them again now. And these have a lot of those in them. One of these now, you're looking at sort of £5,000 plus if you can find one. Like with all these old analog synths. But they really are. I mean, like with all this stuff, I say this every time I'm interviewed. It's the songs you make, the magic you make that's the most important. Well, these are another celebrated item for me, the Polymoog synthesizer. I mean, pretty much it's organ technology with a filter, and uses divider chips. But what a sound you can get out of them, and just.
What were they used on the Polymoog?
Well, I mean, the Polymoog. We'll move on to the keyboard one in a minute, but this was used extensively. I mean, Tony Banks had one. I mean, anybody who was anyone when they came out had one. Because it was a way of having a polyphonic synthesizer before the Prophet 5 in 1978 and before the Oberheims. So anyone who was anyone used one. But then the keyboard version, which was a cut down version, they both got presets, but it had less controls. The famous preset one, the Vox Humana, which I'm sure you Numenoids, which I am a polite one, and synth fans out there will know, the Vox Humana sound is the Gary Newman sound. I'll tell you who did use them a lot on a 79 tour, Kate Bush.
Oh,
she was a big Polymoog person as well.
We like Kate Bush.
Kate Bush is lovely, yeah.
The famous Korg vocoder.
This is a Korg vocoder, from the Korg range as well. Again, a fantastic piece, and you've got the MS-20 next to it as well.
So this is an interesting bit of kit then, Matt. What we got? Is this a Moog?
This is a Minimoog, perhaps the godfather of all mono synths. This one's from 1973.
Can I touch it?
You can touch it, yeah. Yeah, it's a beauty.
Is this on purpose, these two darkened keys?
No, that's just a cigarette coloration and time coloration. But I did have the chance to get all the keys replaced, but I liked having the original ones. And I think what's very important with all this gear is it has a story. I'm interested in the story, so when I play any of it, and I turn any of it on, and I use any of it, any of the synths, guitars, drum machines, drum kits, mics, the story comes back through me, and I'm adding to that story. This is the celebrated Yamaha CP80, which is an electromechanical keyboard. It's actually a real piano with strings in and pickups on each string. Developed in about 1976 as the CP70, and I think the CP80 came out in 77, but don't quote me.
Give us a bit of Billy Joel.
Give us a Billy Joel.
Oh, that Virginia, don't let me wait. Catholic girls start much too late. But sooner or later it comes down to fate. I might as well be the one. But only the good die young. That's what I say, yeah. Down here is my first ever analog synth, which I got in 1995 from a guy called Bob Peters. It's a Roland JX-8P, which was a hybrid digital and analog synth, and I actually it's actually replaced the Jupiter 8, but it's not reflected in the price. The Jupiter 8s, which we've got over there, go for crazy money, and you can still get these for sort of 500 or 600 quid. Little Terminator.
Yes.
Yeah, very much mid-80s strings.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.